Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the episode 2 of Exploring Hidden Google AI Applications. Today we're going to dive into Google Labs where Google hosts their experimental AI apps. We will specifically look into their media generation applications like Google Whisk and Flow. Goal is to generate a mini movie using these tools. So my plan is to single shot all those scenes. That means no retakes and no edits. Spoiler, Flow threw some tantrums while doing that, but Whisk saved the day. So hang around till the end. I'm gonna premiere the mini movie I generated using these cool apps. I think the cinematic picture quality might surprise you as much as it did to me. But yeah, let's jump in. So now we are in Google Labs. If you type labs.google.com, you will land on this page. Here is where Google hosts their experimental AI applications. I'll give you a quick tour of Google Labs, like how to navigate around this web application, and then we'll talk about some of their experiments and discuss some of my favorite media generation applications from Google. So now we are in the home screen. Here they are featuring Flow, their recent video generation application powered by VO2 and VO3. If you click on experiments, here you will see all the experiments from Google Labs, but today we'll only concentrate on the create, which is media generation or music generation or image generation, video generation, etc. Like I mentioned, I'm going to talk about two of my favorite tools that I use regularly. The first one we're going to talk about is Whisk. Whisk is the experimental tool that lets you generate videos and basically ideate anything that you have in your mind and then bring it to life. Whisk is cool because it is very beginner friendly. You can generate images from the prompt and you can generate media from the images and define the scenes. It's very customizable and all that. But yeah, let's jump in. When you click on Whisk, you will land here. If you're a free user, Google gives you some free credit, so you can go ahead and try this tool. At the end of the day, it's an experimental tool, so don't expect production grade media from it, but it's still cool. All right, let's enter the tool and talk about different features. So now we are in the Whisk environment. Here you'll see three tabs, right? Images, videos, and some of your favorites. I'll show you why these tabs are helpful in a bit. And then on the left side here, you can create a subject, like you can upload an image, and you can define a scene, like what kind of a scene you want to generate, or like you can also upload an image which represents that scene. And then you can also, like what kind of style you want. You can define that using prompt or also upload image which represents your particular style. But yeah, so like I said, it's very customizable. But let's start with just generating the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to ChatGPT or Gemini and ask Gemini to create a prompt to generate some kind of an image, right? All right, let me do that. Basically, I'm asking Whisk to generate a woman in her late 20s, warm hazel eyes, thoughtful expression, well-tailored beige French coat over the simple cream-colored blouse and all that, right? So let's see what Whisk will create. It's a good thing that it's giving you multiple options already. So it's trying to generate two images here. All right, so I think that kind of matches with the prompt here. The cool thing is you can use this image and refine the image. For example, if you don't like eyes or hair, you can come here and refine it the way you like. And another cool thing is you can also animate it. Basically, I click here and then you can define how this video should animate, right? So let's try this. Hey Whisk, I want the woman to walk away from the video a little bit and then just walk away from the screen. Could you make that happen? Let's see, it's generating. I think it's worth to mention here, I have the Google Pro subscription, so I think they'll give you 100 generations or something like that if you have a Google Pro subscription. But if you're a free subscriber, they'll give you one generation a day or something like that. All right, it generated the video. Let's play. Also has audio. Awesome. It also has audio in it. So that means they're definitely using VO3 here. So VO3 is their latest video generation model, which can generate video with audio. Haven't tried this tool in a while, so I didn't know it's using VO3. So it's very cool to know that. So that's Whisk for you guys. You can generate images from the text or images, refine it to make it better, and also animate it to turn that image to video. And it's also very customizable. You can define a style, a scene, and upload multiple images that you want to give Whisk as a reference. But yeah, let's move on. That's Whisk for you guys. All right, we're back in labs again. Like I mentioned, now we are going to look at Flow. So now we are in the Flow homepage. So here you can see like some of the inspirations, like people made short films using Flow. You can watch some of them. They're very cool to watch. If you scroll down here, you can see the pricing structure. If you're a Google AI Pro subscriber, you'll have a limited number of credits for VO3 and VO3 Fast. And then if you're out of credits, you can top up the credits. And if you're Ultra subscriber, you'll have access to everything here. And then highest monthly generation limits. But yeah, let's create something. So now I created a new project. I'll give you a quick tour of how it works. So by default, you're in text to video section, but you can change to frames to video or ingredients to videos. I never tried this. Text to video is something like you can enter the prompt, it'll generate the video. So all of these generated videos are 8 seconds long. If you want to generate a minute or 2 minute stories, you need to be very careful about what you're prompting. So it's very important to maintain the character consistency and all that. So we're going to generate a minute story using frames to video or text to video. We'll dig more into that in a bit. And you can configure how many outputs you want for each generations, right? Each generation costs 20 credits for VO3. And for VO3 quality, it's 100 credits. VO2 quality, it's also 100 credits. Interesting, I didn't know that. And VO2 fast is 10 credit. That's cool. But yeah, we're gonna use VO3 fast for now. The one interesting thing I found was sometimes VO3 fast is better than VO3 quality and vice versa. I'm not sure what's happening behind the scenes, but that's something I experienced lately. So here is what we're gonna do. Our goal is to create a 60-second story. So 60 seconds means, so each scene is 8 seconds long. We'll take these 8 videos, stitch them together and make it look like a story. The first thing we need to define is the character, right? That way, Flow will have a reference to the character to maintain the character consistency in the entire video. We'll go to frames to video and then click this plus icon. You can upload an image or generate an image. So I'll click the generate image and then we need the prompt. Remember our Clara from the Whisk? I'm using the same prompt here as well and click generate. What do you mean, Google? It says you're requesting generations too quickly. Let's change this to 2 and try again. Okay, not sure what's happening here. So something weird happening with Flow. I couldn't generate the images. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna download the image that we generated from the Whisk and then use this image as a reference instead of generating the image there. Hopefully it'll accept. Let's try. So here, instead of generating the image, I'm gonna upload it. All right, now we have a reference image here. So just to give you a reference, what we are about to generate is the story of Lost Letter, right? So theme is a love letter dropped on the street, find its way back to the center. So that's the theme of the story. The setup is the wide shot, golden hour street, letter slips from the bag. Scene 2 will be close up, letter tumbling in wind, kids chase after it. Scene 3 will be dog grabs it playfully and runs. Stranger picks it up, reads the fragment and smiles. Over the shoulder shot, letter handed back to the main character at a cafe. Close up of surprise reaction. Character opens the letter, emotional smile, pull out of them, walking away with hope. So basically that's the story we're going to generate. We already have the reference image, so we need to generate the scene now, which is wide shot, golden hour street, letter slips from for a bag. All right, I'm pasting our prompt here, and then we have our anchor image. Let's generate it. So video is working and images are not working. I don't know, maybe something is going on with Google Flow. Okay, it created the video. Let's see. All right, so it started with frame 1. I think it followed the pattern correctly. So we said a woman in her late 20s, blonde hair, wearing the navy pea coat. Basically, she's walking in the street and then an envelope with the red seal on it drops on the floor accidentally. So that's the scene. I guess it followed it correctly. Let's move on to scene 2. So for scene 2, we don't need a reference. It's an independent shot, so it doesn't have any references of Elara. So it can be a text to image. So let's change this to image. It's a close-up cinematic shot of an envelope with a red wax seal. Let's create it. Okay, looks like our video is ready. Sweet, that looks good. Now let's move on to scene 3. So scene 3 is where dogs picks up the letter, right? So this is the prompt. Let's generate it. We are still in text to video section because these are all independent shots. We don't need LRI in it yet. That's why I'm in text to video mode. All right, seems like it's ready. Well, that's not perfect. I don't know why the shot is a little bit discontinuous. So dog is going to the left and coming towards the camera again almost immediately. But yeah, we can work with that. Let's move on to the next scene. All right, our next scene is where a stranger will pick up the letter and then reads a bit and smiles. Let's see what it generated. Well, that's a strange smile, but I can work with that. Let's move on to the next scene. All right, so for the next scene, we need Elara in it. So we need to change this text to mode to the frames to mode and then add our Elara here as a reference frame. And then this is a prompt. Basically, in this scene, Elara gets the letter from the elderly person. All right, let's generate. All right, let's see. Well, the eyes are a little bit strange, but I don't know. Maybe we can work with that. Let's go. Our next scene is still frames to video because we need Elara in it. So let's upload her image as a reference and then paste her prompt. Basically, she looks at the letter and then, her eyes widen in disbelief and her lips part slightly in surprise. Let's do it. All right, let's see. But yeah, let's move on. Well, in this one, she reads the letter. She's like emotionally smiles and then a tear will fall from her eyes. Let's do it. All right, let's watch. Where is the tear, Rio? It's okay. Let's move on to the next one. All right, in this one, Elara picks up the letter and then walks away into the warm golden hour light. That sounds cinematic, right? Let's do it how it performs. Okay, let's watch it. All right, that works. So we have 8 individual videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch them together and make it look like a continuous story. But before that, I want to show you another feature inside the flow. So for that, we need to go back and create a new project. What I'm about to showcase is how you can generate continuous videos using frames to video. For example, if you generate 8 seconds video, you can choose last frame as a reference and then continue generating the video with consistent characters. So let's see how it works. So let's go to the scene builder. I'll show you how scene builder works. All right, so now we have the reference image. Let's try to frame a story about that image, right? Spider-Man laughing louds and then Batman also laughing and then super villains behind the scene are approaching towards our superheroes. Okay, so it's generating the video now. Our scene is ready. Let's see. I think it followed the intent, but some of our superheroes are not moving. All right, that's our scene. Now let's build on top of it. I click extend. So basically what it does is it's asking you to generate the continuous story. Like it says, what should happen next? You have full control to generate the story from the previous scene. Let's see, maybe something like Superman observed the villains are approaching towards them and start attacking them. It says this feature isn't supported on VO3 fast, switch through VO2 fast. I think in the scene builder, if you want to continue generate the scenes, VO3 fast is not supported. So I'm guessing with VO2 fast, I don't think it will generate the audio, but we'll see. That's interesting. Why would Google do this? All right, let's watch it. I don't know what happened there. Okay, that's not what I said, but let's see if we can improve this. Superman's supposed to get up and then start attacking them, right? Since we can't generate the audio, it's gonna be a little bit tricky, but let's change the scene a little bit. Superheroes and supervillains get up and then hug each other. I know that's not how it works in movies, but let's see what it does. All right, let's watch it. Yeah, it's definitely not following my prompt. All right, let's watch it from the beginning what it generated. So it's weirdly fast since it has audio in it. They're coming closer, trying to distract the superheroes. And they went back again in this frame. I don't know what happened. And they're supposed to hug each other. The conclusion, scene builder is not ready yet. So you can still use VO3 to generate high quality AI generated videos, but you still need to go out of it and then stitch videos together to make it look like a story or a continuous video. And now for the big reveal. Let's watch our last letter movie.